All right. Welcome back to It's Basically Monday, 2024, the first one of the new year, and actually on a Monday for maybe the first time ever. Is it the first time ever?
No, not the first time
Um,
ever. We started on a Monday, I thought.
did we?
I don't I
Maybe
don't
not
think
like
I don't think we did.
that was probably many platforms ago. That was back when we were recording it on Audacity.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
could have
let's just
swore
say
there
it's the
was a
first time.
time that
It's
it
okay.
was
Okay.
okay. Fuck it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's the first
now
time.
it's
For
the
the first
first
time
time.
then.
The
Yeah,
first time we remembered.
Well, anyway,
yeah.
It counts.
how's everyone doing in this new year? Have you lost has everyone lost all of their New Year's resolutions already?
Oh, I was
Or do
smart
you
enough
guys
never
even
to
do
make any
those?
of
Yeah,
those.
there you go.
It's like let me save myself the disappointment.
What
Oh
about
man.
what about you, Gouda?
No, I think yeah, I do make resolutions to myself, but it's not like a one-off goal like let me do this, let me do A until I see B and then I win. It's more of just things I would like to see by the end of the year. So, just like
Oh,
self-motivational things
wait, how's that different?
than a resolution.
Yeah.
It's not like quantifiable. It's not like lose 10 pounds or get this much money or do that. It's more of just like I would like to have the sense that this went well.
Okay. And if it's not measurable, how do you measure whether you got the sense that it went well? How do you tell?
I just know personally, like internally, which is why I
At
say it's not really
the
much
end
of
of
a
the year, you can
resolution.
look back
Yeah, yeah.
and be like, "Did that go well?" Measuring stick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like if one of mine was like I want to make sure that I learn like at least two new ideas that challenge my current way of seeing the world this year. Like that's not one of mine because I don't put like it has to be three ideas or whatever, but something like that. Like I would want to be able to look back and be like, all right, well when I started the year, like I was pretty sure in these ideas and I thought this is what I thought about the world and like I took the chance to learn these two new things and now I think differently because of it. It's things like that.
So just general improvement.
But I mean that's not improvement for everyone. Most people are like to stay, I don't know, pretty solid in their ideas once they get to a certain age. But
Well, it's your. I mean, I'll just say it. That sounds like a resolution, but yeah, I mean, it's yours, so you get to define it. So if you feel like that is improvement, well, it sounds like the way you're. I'm assuming you think it's improvement because you're going towards it, right? So I would assume you think it's better to have that than to not.
yeah, but I wouldn't call it a resolution because it didn't start like at the drop of 2024 like it was a thing that I was already working on. It just so happens to be still going on.
Just
It
an
was the best answer I
ongoing.
could give you besides saying no
So an
or
ongoing,
nothing.
if ongoing resolutions always that are not tied
Yeah.
tied to the the calendar year.
Yeah, I mean, this is just the one that I mean, there are some that happen to fall during the season.
Yeah.
So yeah,
All right, that's interesting.
that was just an example though. That isn't one. That's one I just try to do every day of the year, regardless of the year.
Okay. All right. Well, that's good. So yeah, I think that makes sense. I don't think I really set resolutions either. Um, yeah, I don't really like the idea of like starting something on the new year. I don't know, something about it doesn't quite feel right. Like the
Like if it was a problem, you should have just started it the moment you realized it was a problem.
right, yeah, yeah. Like that's I would rather do that. So like if something dawns on me so much so that I feel like I need to fix it, I'll just start fixing it. Like why wait until like the numbers turn?
It's like, I'll work on that next year.
Yeah, which right, that's what I like. Yeah, I think most people don't actually want to resolve anything. I think it's just the things they tell themselves to make themselves feel better. Honestly, which which is interesting. Like that's I was curious to see like if anyone here had resolutions and if they broke them because it feels like yeah most when most people say it, it's like it's more of an idea of like what I'd like my best self to be if I didn't have to do any of like the work associated with bettering myself, which is why I feel like
Yeah,
people normally like put it off.
I don't think it's actually. I think the resolution is more of I'm gonna stop being in self-denial about this one thing, and that's good enough. Like you don't have to go like actually follow through with the action of doing that thing, but just like admitting it to yourself, I think that's the resolution.
That's pretty terrible. That's almost worse. I could,
Yeah.
I could, I could honestly accept if you were like for real in denial about it, because then like just logically you can't see it. But if you're saying logically you can see it and you're still just not gonna bother, like, well, that goes back to like the wasting your brain thing we've talked about before. This feels like you're wasting your brain almost, or wasting whatever
Yeah.
it is you think should be better. Yeah.
Yeah, I think when you're talking about resolutions, those are things that most people find like stressful or anxiety inducing, so they typically try to avoid thinking about it. So just the act of thinking about it is like work enough, like that is accomplishment enough.
That is setting the bar
Oh,
crazy low, I feel like. But okay.
It might be. I could definitely be wrong. I mean, in your guys'
No,
experience, does it
you're
seem
probably
different?
right. That sounds right of what I would think what most people do. But I don't know.
have I ever? I don't know if I've ever been close to someone who has actually made a New Year's resolution. Like maybe back in high school, but I don't remember it because like they probably didn't like follow through with it for very long. But
Hmm.
like outside of high school, I have never met someone who has at least told me what their New Year's resolution was, even, and then much less updated me on like how it's been going.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder if most people just don't bother to make any, or do they just not want to tell other people what they are just in case they fail?
I think most people probably do make them. And yeah, I'm willing to bet most people also drop them before they would even see progress anyway. So yeah, I think that's probably true. All right, interesting.
Do you think it's just part of like people just like feel comfort in performing the routine, like that's just part of the holiday? Like if they didn't make some kind of resolution to themselves, they'd feel like they didn't do the year right or it was like empty or something.
Um,
Yeah, there's definitely people like that.
yeah, there's probably people like that. I don't understand that, but there's probably people who feel that way.
Yeah, the
Mm.
true traditionalist. You don't question the tradition, you just do it because it works.
Does it though? If you never ever make it to doing a New Year's resolution, does it work?
Well, I mean, if it didn't work, people wouldn't be doing it year after year after year, right?
No, no, I think that's wrong. I think people intentionally do things that don't work that make them feel good all the time.
Year after year after year.
Yeah, absolutely.
Um,
Yeah, for sure. I don't think most people necessarily think to themselves when they do things like, is this in my best interest? I think they think with this like give me gratification right now. I feel like most people make decisions like within anywhere between time frames of like today and the next maybe week and a half. I don't think most people think much further than that.
That's interesting you say that. I was just thinking about this. myself like 3 weeks ago. Um, yeah, I have another question related to that. But
Oh,
you
okay.
can.
Wait, yeah, okay, we're gonna come back to that then, because before we get too far, there was something I wanted to propose that we do for this new season. You guys don't have to do it, but I'll definitely do it on the days that I'm hosting. So I was
Is this a
thinking,
resolution?
no, this is something I'm actually just doing because I just happened to think about it on the first podcast of the new year. So
But are you resolving to do it in this
for
month?
res
I mean, this year of 2024.
I'm resolving to do it for forever, as long as we have the podcast.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm gonna drop it in like a month, just like everybody else. Be part of the tradition like everybody else.
Yeah, it'll feel good.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, so lately I've been thinking a lot about like uh things that I used to do like when I was younger, like and I mean younger like in my early 20s. That I my body just probably wouldn't allow me to do now. Like things that make me feel old, essentially. And it could be anything really. Like for me, it just happened to be physical. So I think I think once every time, like when you host, if you think of something like something to share that makes you feel that like lets you know, okay, like I am for real in my 30s now, or I'm older than I used to be. And I'll go first. It could be as deep or as like shallow as you want. Yeah,
Let me resolve to
yeah,
examine my mortality every single day.
yeah,
That
Okay.
way,
exactly. Yep.
or
Yeah,
every Monday rather.
yeah. I got reminded of it, so I'm gonna share it with all of you. So, yeah, so something that I recently have been doing with Milo a lot is like it's been warm here, like unnaturally warm. So we've been going to like parks and stuff, and she really likes going on the swing, amongst other things. But the swings in particular, she's been getting on more. And she always like asks me to swing with her. And about like that's only really been going on for a few months now, maybe like 4 or 5 months. But I realized that like I really loved the swing when I was a kid. Like I used to go super high, I used to jump off swings, do tricks and shit. Like that's just something we did. And when my daughter asked me to do it with her, I was super excited about it. So I hopped in the swing with her. And the second I started swinging, I immediately felt nothing but extreme nausea. Like
Really?
to the point where like I thought I was gonna throw up just right there on the floor. Like
What?
and every single time since that point 6 months ago, I can't get on the swing without feeling nauseous. Like like even now when I'm just sitting there and it's just moving a little bit, I feel nauseous.
Holy
And
shit.
I think it's just the fact that I'm older, but I don't understand why that would change so drastically. And like so much so that like I don't think anything has ever made me like on the spot sick that quickly. And now it's just like I looked at the swing, I was like, yeah, let's try it again, like just a few days ago. And I sat on it and I like did a couple of those like, you just fucking kick your legs out. And the moment I got to the top, I was like, no, I have to stop. Like this is
What?
yeah,
Wait,
yeah,
have you? So, like,
Seriously?
your
yeah.
sample size, does it only exist like for this one swing, or are there multiple swings you've
No,
tried?
no, it's multiple swings at multiple different parks.
And yeah, so
Jesus
you're done.
Christ.
Yep.
Like
You said
you're,
you would
yeah,
die. Just
yeah.
like
That
that.
inner ear, man, it's gone.
That's okay, so
My friend.
that's what I thought it was. That's what I think it is. Like in the moment, the reason I thought that too is because our one of our dogs gets really car sick because for that
Mm.
reason, right? Because like some of them just don't develop the inner ear for some reason. But like to go fucking reverse, like how the fuck did I lose it?
I don't know.
I
Maybe
don't
like
understand.
how often is how often is your head at like that point in the atmosphere?
Yeah, pretty much never. But I mean, it wasn't when I was a kid either, unless I was swinging. Well, maybe we just flipped around and shit more than I didn't even notice it.
You get nauseous? That's
Yeah, like extremely.
You should try going on a
do you get
merry-go-round and see if it does the same thing.
do you get
I'm
dizzy
I'm
and
I'm
nauseous or
afraid of doing
just
it.
nauseous?
Um, just so like really nauseous. Not Yeah, not dizzy, but like if I stay on the swing long enough, I will eventually also get very dizzy. Yeah.
Just from pure nausea, probably.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yep. But it doesn't
Oh
impact me when
man,
I'm do like so we went to in November, I think it was, or whatever. It was like some months ago. We went to Mall of America and we took her Mile on a bunch of rides there. Like we did do a Ferris wheel. I was completely fine. We did like a very specific like you sit in that teacup thing and you spin and it went up and down too at the same time. Nothing, fine. It's just this motion, just this. I literally cannot handle the swinging back and forth, and
have you?
I
When's
don't
the
know what
last
it
time
is.
you tried a hammock?
Yeah, that's a good. Yeah.
Um, not like an actual one, but they have like swing related stuff at the parks that mimic that exact same motion. And if for some reason those I'm fine in. Maybe it's because it's like more surface area and I'm laying down, but yeah, just sitting upright on the swing that's too much. So
But I
yeah,
mean, you are exerting yourself. Like in those other ones, the work is being done for you.
yeah, that's
You
true.
should find like a seesaw.
Ugh.
Let's see if it's. Yeah, we're just gonna start using you as experiments now. Like, hey, dude, you should go see if this like
Dude,
makes
yeah,
you
if you get
nauseous.
to the top of that seesaw and you fall off, like, don't come asking, like, why
Oh,
you don't.
oh,
Yeah, so maybe don't try that.
yeah, I'm not doing that. That sounds terrible.
Yeah, yeah, that's okay. Um, what about you, Valera? Do you have any?
That's hilarious.
Yeah, and you don't have to share them today if you don't want. Like if you have one or if like anything has ever happened like that, for sure share it. But yeah,
Do
I
I have any?
I definitely thought about that and thought I wonder if other people have things that like make them feel old that like they used to be able to do, but like now it just they can't do it. And that one's mine.
I mean, like the other day we were thinking about when Reina's gonna graduate, and I think it's gonna be like
Nothing drastic has happened. There's certain things I can't really eat a lot of anymore, like cheese, which I guess is a little disappointing, but
Heard that most people are like lactose intolerant and don't just ignore it. They just deal with the pain.
that's
yeah, I can't
crazy.
ignore it anymore. It's yeah, it's unfortunate. But yeah, other than when people ask me how old I am and they seem surprised by what I tell them,
Hmm.
that's when I feel like, oh,
Yep.
so it's over
Hmm. Yeah, that's another good one.
Wait, they're surprised in what way? Like they thought you were older or thought you were younger?
Younger.
Younger. Yep. Younger.
Yeah, that happens. Yeah.
Yeah, I went to this like our CBD place, and I remember very distinctly like the second time I had went, was asking the guy about different stuff that they had, and we get to the counter. He said, "Can I see your ID?" So I handed it to him, and he just looked straight at me, and he said, "Wow, you're 30?" I was like, I was like, "Yep." And he was like, I would have never guessed that, man. Like he almost said it like he like what's the word? He not felt yeah he felt sympathy for me almost. Like wow, like you're already that far along, huh? Like that's the way he said it.
He's like, I thought you were a young person, but nope.
Yeah,
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
like, fooled me.
yeah, it's quite the experience. I was just like, oh, thanks. I just took it and left immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one too. Ugh. Yeah,
Yeah,
my
and also that like we're talking about like Generation Alpha now. Like not only do they stop talking about millennials, like we're not like the new generation anymore, but like they're like almost done talking about Gen Z already, like which is crazy. Like so like yeah, we're already two generations, three generations deep in this and like so we're middle aged basically.
Not even basically, like, technically, all the ways we are
Yeah,
middle aged.
technically.
You cannot even say that we're not.
Yeah.
I don't even know what is Gen Alpha. How old are they right now?
I forget exactly when it started, but I think like 2018 and up or something like that, or 2015 and up, something like that. Like,
So they're barely turning 10 years old right now.
yeah.
Okay,
So it's
weird.
like all of our friends' kids, basically,
Okay,
and our kids, obviously.
yeah. What is there even to talk about with them? Like, do they have
nothing.
a mass personality trait that people can even like hone in on, or are they just giving them a label?
I think it's too early still, since like they're all like not even 10 years old. So like, I guess technically you can't really tell what the personality is. And like Gen Z already was born with like tablets and Wi-Fi and like high-speed internet. So like that can't be Generation Alpha's thing too. So like it's gonna be something different. Like I'm sure, I don't know what is gonna be their thing. Who even knows, dude? It could be anything at this point. Like it could literally go anywhere.
Yeah, I am noticing that like the world around me in terms of how people communicate with each other is changing in a way that like I no longer want to be a part of. So like that tells me I'm old too. Like just how social media like generally like I don't care to snap a bunch of stuff to people like even that and that technically part of my generation is people do that and I just like I'll watch your snaps but I'm not gonna go find stuff that I think is interesting to send to you like occasionally my kid's cute enough where I'm just like all right here like someone might like this but it's just crazy like I feel like the expectation now is that your life in on the internet should almost exactly mirror what's happening to you. So much so that like that is almost more so your life because you spend more time there. So yeah, that's one that's hard for me to swallow and definitely lets me know I'm getting old. Like okay, a great example, something I was gonna bring up later. Um, I had to go back on LinkedIn to like update my job title and stuff. And I started scrolling LinkedIn, and like the first four posts were very normal, just like so and so's looking for a job here, or look at this event that we did over there. And then like the next four posts were all about like they were like this one lady, and I had to like mute her afterwards because I don't want to see any more of her posts. This one lady is like she named herself the founder of a basically like like Black in the Workplace, like that's the name of her company, and like pretty much every post of hers is just about how terrible companies are at diversity and like how bad people are. I'm just like, why are you posting that here? Like, what is the what is the benefit of this? Like, when
On
employers look at
LinkedIn.
you, is this what you want them to see? Like, I'm not saying that this is not an important thing, but like, I thought LinkedIn was for, like jobs and shit. Like, what happened?
Maybe she's hiring.
Oh
But you
God.
better be black though.
Right,
Yeah,
clearly.
yeah, you better,
Clearly.
you
You
better
better
be
be
black.
black.
Yeah, so then I like asked Danielle too, like, what happened to LinkedIn? And she was like, it's been like that for a while now. Like you've been out of the game so long. I'm like,
It's
yeah,
just
it's
like
just
any social media platform.
it's crazy. Like apparently LinkedIn just lost control. Like it's basically a secondary Facebook now. Like that's what it looks like to me anyway. So
Yeah.
yeah, I just think just the way people communicate is just a bit foreign to me now, and that definitely lets me know like you're getting up there. Pretty soon you're gonna be on your porch, looking at those kids, wagging your finger.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look at what do you think they're gonna be doing?
Yeah, I just assume they're gonna be outside causing a ruckus.
with
Yeah.
their
Like
with their hover packs. They're like,
Yeah,
with
ah, look at old man Grave.
their
yeah,
hover
yeah.
packs and
Fucking their fucking legs
they're like
atrophied more than fucking
their
mine are.
their
Yeah.
VR visors and shit.
I'm gonna be like, back in my
Yeah.
day, we fucking walked. They're gonna be like, fuck you and your little legs, old man. Yeah, I just assume that's what's gonna happen. The dystopian future.
Yeah, that's gonna be our kids.
No, I'm not. I can't let that happen to Mama. There's just no.
She's gonna be like, "Come on, Dad. All I want to do is go out, play with my friends on their hoverboards and their VR visors." And
Yeah, I'm gonna be like, you and your friends are fucking idiots. Just sit your ass down.
uh,
if you tell her that, then she's for sure gonna like shave the sides of her head, get a mohawk, and
If I
like
tell her
go
no,
do it. Yeah, isn't that what happens in every movie?
yeah, I guess so. She's just immediately rebel. Just the moment, she's just,
Come on,
she's like,
Dad.
"Dad, can I do this?" And immediately, as I'm answering, she just got the fucking the
yep.
fucking clippers
Can
to
I
her
do this,
head.
Dad?
Can I do this?
Can I go? No.
Legitimately, that's what I think kids today are doing. Like, and because it's working. Because like I don't understand. I just legitimately don't understand.
Like I wouldn't stop it if it came to that point. I'd be like, you can shave your head and you can go and play on the hoverboard advisors at this point. I mean, I
I
guess
mean,
it depends how old they are, but like
yeah.
at a certain point, if it got to that, I'm just like, I'm done fighting. Like, if you
Well,
want to
all
be weird, then go
Yeah,
right
shaving
ahead.
your head I don't care about, but nah, like if you're still living in my house, I have some, especially with your underdeveloped fucking brain, I do have some responsibility to stop you from doing completely crazy things. Now, what those things are, like, yeah, we gotta figure out what makes sense, what doesn't. But yeah, there's no way you're just gonna make unilateral decisions for yourself, like a hoverboard. Like if I'm imagining what I'm imagining is just so sci-fi. So like, like there's no chance that I would let my kid on like an actual hoverboard.
Yeah, it's like a hoverboard and like it like links into these AR visors that put you in like the digital VR world or whatever, where you can hang out with like more like kids and shit your age.
Wait, but why do you need to hover in VR?
Because like if you don't, you're looked at as like a
yeah.
pleb.
That's where all the
Um,
bonus range are. Like you
oh,
have to
okay,
fly through the range in the air. You can't
all
do
right,
like the ground ones.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
if you're
and
seen
if
out here
you
without a hoverboard, like you're just like labeled as like broke and
Oh, well,
poor.
that's easy. Then just don't get on there. That's There it is.
nah,
We
you
we
can't.
solved it.
But everyone's on there,
I don't give a f-
including
I don't,
this boy or girl that she likes.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
Oh.
and you can't wear a helmet or use the emergency savior mode because then you're weak. So you have to
Yeah,
Emergency savior mode.
yeah.
Yeah.
She's like, "Come
Come
on,
on,
Dad. I just want to be able to
Dad.
kill myself, please." No, like, sorry.
I'm pretty sure. Isn't that how kids are though? Like,
Yeah, if you let them. Yeah, of course.
like, please let me do.
it's like I just want to be able to kill myself, please.
Yeah, like no chance. Absolutely no chance.
Like even if you don't let them, they still ask it.
It's like,
Oh, you can
but
ask. You can ask all
but if
you'd
I
like.
do, but if I do die, I'll get like 500 million views. That'll give you like $1,000.
$1,000.
Yeah, I'll just give you the check for 1,000. Like, let's just cut to the chase. If you wanted money, you could have just asked for money. Yeah,
He's like, all
like,
right, Dad, this is a shakedown.
yeah, this is a
Like, if you
shakedown.
don't let me get some money, I'm
Yeah,
about to shave my heads and go get a hoverboard.
yeah. Hoverboards. Yeah, Milo's gonna be the plebiest, but that's okay. It's just
You
this is what
said
it is.
you just straight up you just straight up sentenced her to a lifehood a childhood of plebism.
Yeah,
Like
if
just
that's
right
what
off the bat.
if that's what her childhood consists of, like if that's what the people around her are doing, then yeah, whatever. That's just gonna have to be how it is.
Like it's gonna I'm sure I don't know how far off we are with that, but I feel like we're not gonna be that far off. Like
Mm.
I feel like whatever it is, it's gonna be something that's absolutely outrageous and just like
I
I
feel
don't
like
even know.
I feel like hoverboards. I don't know, but yeah, like I feel like some of the shit people do, like I can't even imagine how people got into like. Well, I can't imagine like eating fucking Tide Pods. Like it's like it's like, but that's what everyone's doing. It's like you're a fucking idiot. Go sit down. like like what?
Where
Like
did Tide Pod start on TikTok?
I have no idea. Somewhere on the internet, clearly.
Or was it just YouTube? No, I'm pretty sure it was TikTok. It
Ugh,
had to have been.
I have no idea.
Yeah, like what if they just want to post videos on TikTok? But they're not necessarily doing the Tide Pod challenge, but they're doing like other like tomfoolery, dumb things, but like nothing to kill themselves, like literally eating soap.
Uh, I don't know. I haven't. We haven't really. We haven't really discussed in detail yet, like how we feel about Mila having like social media as a kid, as a teenager. Like, obviously I think there'll be some aspect of that, but I I do not think that that is good really for anybody, honestly. Like I don't think social media provides a net benefit for especially if you're like in development stages. So even if it is something that like everyone's doing, I- part of and I mean she might not want to hear it, but it's just I'm she's my kid, so she's gonna have to deal with it. Like part of the problem is like why are we measuring ourselves against other people? Like who the fuck cares what the average 6-year old or fucking 12-year-old is doing? And like if that's how our kids are turning out, like they're being basically raised by social media, I'm gonna have a really hard time with it. So yeah, I haven't figured out even like what that's gonna look like yet, but I'm sure there's gonna be some angst around it. I haven't fully thought it through yet, but I got a little bit of time. But yeah, there will
Yeah,
definitely not be unfettered access to just the internet and social media. Like no chance.
interesting. You had like social media and stuff? Did you?
Yeah, I did.
Like when did you get? Yeah, when did you? How old were you when you first got it?
I guess whenever MySpace came out or tagged or whatever the one of those was. I don't know how
Tag.
long ago that was, but like it wasn't like a an age thing, I don't think. Like for me.
You remember what grade?
Maybe like eighth, ninth, somewhere between eighth and 10th grade, I would assume.
Yeah, I remember. I for sure had a MySpace in seventh grade. Was there like did people use MySpace when we were in sixth grade? I remember for sure, people were using like instant messenger and stuff.
No, MySpace wasn't until seventh grade.
Seventh grade, okay.
Yeah.
Like people were definitely using instant messenger. I remember that. But yeah, I guess so. I mean, yeah, I had unfettered internet access basically
Yeah.
in the 90s, like and 2000s.
Yeah, but the
And I
But
internet
felt
there was
looked
like
nothing.
yeah,
There was
the
nothing
internet
there.
yeah, the internet looked very different in the 90s.
There was definitely like stuff there. Like you can click on any button and download a devastating virus that would absolutely shut down your computer in that moment and forever.
Yeah, but
Or
that's like
you could
just your
be clicking on
machine.
Yeah,
porn.
that's your
Or
machine. Yeah, that's your machine though. We're talking about
or
like
you could be
detriments to
going
you.
straight to a chat room where there's just a pedophile there and that's it. And he's just like,
Yeah.
hey, like like that's just like that was literally
What
like
the
the
heck?
three options of like what a link would lead you to back in the 90s. But like we did it. Like I
Well,
never like talked to a pedophile as far as I know, at least. Like, I never, well, I have fucked up my fair share of computers, but I feel like that's why you just gotta give them their own computer so they don't fuck up yours.
but like,
And then
do you
honestly,
think
maybe even put them on their own network too, like, because who even knows what kind of shit they could download?
do you think there's do you think if your parents understood the internet the way we understand the internet today, they would have allowed you to have unfettered access?
No, definitely not.
Okay.
Like, my parents didn't even want me to, like, play, like, violent video games because they thought it was gonna, like, yeah, make me turn like into a serial killer or something like that.
Yeah.
Like they were for sure, yeah, if they would have actually understood everything, yeah, and my mom wouldn't have. I feel like my dad wouldn't have changed. He's the one who gave me the internet. But if my mom would have like truly understand, I don't think she probably would have
Yeah.
wanted me on there.
Yeah, that's a big part of what makes it different. Like social media and that like yeah, pedophiles and that's part of the concern, but I'm more just concerned with like it's just assume that all of the nasty crazy people were just cleaned up from the internet. Just just the part of social media, like that piece of it, I don't think is healthy either. Like just the most mundane parts of social media, like I don't think are great for development either. So like it's that stuff and just the normal stuff. Like even if I could clean up every pedophile and make sure like you were never on any porn site and make sure that you didn't do X, Y, and Z and like fucking hack something and launch a nuke or some shit. Like if I could make sure of all of that, it still wouldn't be feel good about you being on social media and just fucking doom scrolling. Like that's not good for you. I don't think that's good for anyone.
Yeah, I think it's a lot harder to access any part of social media or the internet these days and not be risking like your mental well-being. Like your
Yeah.
soul can be like your soul can so easily be damaged even like before your like computer shuts down. Like it's too late. Like it's already like you'll just be thinking about it even after you have to send your desktop to Geek Squad or whatever. And that reference probably even ages me.
Yep.
So
I feel like that would happen to us too. Like you would
not
click on
really.
one link, and then next thing you know, you saw Saddam Hussein's lifeless body getting hung by a rope, like with his neck snapped. Like there was
But
no like,
it
You're
was in
just
like 180p, man. Like it was like
but
half blurred.
it was enough. Like it was enough to change you for at
No,
least
I don't think
24
so.
hours.
There's something different about that 56K modem, like loading one line for like an hour image. Like there's just it's not as visceral and like just
yeah.
yeah. It's I don't know. These days it's just it's a lot, and it's only
I
gonna
feel
get
like
like
We didn't
even worse.
And we didn't really have like maybe you did because the way you're talking about your experience with the internet sounds very different from the other people that I know who experienced the internet at that time. So maybe like you had a very good understanding of like you could put things on here that were a reflection of real life. I don't think most people in our generation like when they were figuring out the internet thought that about being online. Like it seemed like more of a game that just had an extension pack almost. Like that's how it felt to me anyway. So like the understanding that I feel like most people have today of the internet is very rooted in the fact that like there's some type of social credit and score that is attached to your actual person, which literally didn't even exist when we were there. Like even if you could get your hands on yeah something really crazy, I feel like most times people just like yeah that was crazy and then they just keep going about their day. Like it would it would never be something at least for me that like stopped me in my tracks. It was like oh shit I have to like heed this because this is about the real world. Like it just was a toy,
Yeah,
and for me
that's
anyway.
a yeah, that's a great way to put it. Like there at no point when the days of like Netscape Navigator did I go on there and feel like I was interacting with the real world. Like I felt like it was very much like I was escaping the real world and just going to like a mall or something like that.
Yeah,
Like it was an entertainment center, but now it's like now I'm like, now I'm getting like a portal into like the reality of
yeah.
this world like going on over here and over there, and like I just think that's too much for a lot of people to have access to and to
It's
know about.
basically the beta for like actual virtual reality. Like that's what it is. Like you're just seeing what it would be like to live your life online without an actual movable avatar. That's how I feel about how people are online now. Like if you really wanted to, you could just set up shop and that like you would not have to leave. Like if you had enough stuff, like as long as you could feed yourself, your life would just be
Yeah,
online forever.
but how does like what's the point of like creating a VR world on top of that? Like why go through like making all that infrastructure and stuff, and like what's isn't there like some redundancy there?
I think there's probably redundancy there for us, but we also lived part of our life outside of that. So I think for us it's a redundancy. I think for people who already live that life, it's an extension pack. It's just like
But
you get more real.
are you thinking that eventually that's going to be a majority of people picking that option?
Um, God, I hope not. I don't know, but I think it's very possible that that could be one of our futures. Yes.
What do you think, Bluro?
I feel like no matter what happens, people are always gonna want to like see each other in real life. Like, so I feel like the first way you meet friends is at school or work. Like you got to make money to pay for the internet bill to get access. So you're going to meet people in real life there. And then they might join your online groups and then connect with other people online that way. But I feel like there's always going to be that element of real life interaction. Unless like it gets to a point where most people work online, which is actually just not possible because we tried that in the pandemic and like some people have to go to work to make this world like function.
Not possible yet.
Yeah, I guess once there's like more robots doing stuff, like that'll that'll get us
Oh,
to the
dude,
point
just a
where
quick
more people
aside.
are working from
uh,
home.
Sorry to interrupt, but when I was on my trip, in the airport in Amsterdam, they had a robot like janitor, like just rolling around doing its thing.
Really?
Yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah, it was crazy.
Cool. Robot janitors.
Could you like interact with it? What did it do?
No,
Like
I was afraid. I didn't want to.
I bet you probably could.
I didn't want to like set off an alarm and it'd be like, I
like
don't
warning,
know.
warning.
Yeah.
No, another job no one will have to do ever again. There it is.
It was doing a lot. It was like cleaning, picking up glasses. It like had tray. I don't know. It was. Anyways, sorry to interrupt.
That's good.
Yeah, they're slowly eliminating the janitors from the.
Yeah.
But
Which
actually, you know
which
what?
is such a
You still
crazy.
need a janitor because, like, I highly doubt a robot can clean a bathroom actually good.
Not yet.
Like, yeah, not yet at least, but like, I've seen videos of like robots trying to clean, and it's like cool. Like, yeah, you kind of wiped up the mess, like basically, but like, really, like, that's just not like really wiped up. Like you need to have like flesh and like hands to be able to like really get something, or like
I
know
don't
how to
know.
like use the right tools with like a wrist and like feeling in every single part of your hand to like get in the crevices somewhere. But
This
like,
thing was like as good or better than a busboy. It was like basically a bus bot.
so what did you see it doing exactly?
It was rolling around the like dining floor, like picking up plates from empty tables, glasses, stuff like that. If it had like water, it had liquid in it, it would like pour it in some kind of like weird like other compartment where it
Holy
collected the
shit!
liquid, like separated the glass. Dude, it was doing everything.
Holy shit!
It was doing
Okay,
everything.
yeah, that's a lot. So I mean,
Yeah.
like, yeah, picking up dishes and stuff. Yeah, okay, I can see that. That would get replaced quicker than like the entire janitor.
But the dining room was set up in a way that made it very easy for that robot to interact with things. Like the tables were shaped in a way that made it easy for like the arms to interact with it. Like it wouldn't have worked as well if there was all round tables. Like I'm sure they all had corners for a reason.
Okay, interesting. That's crazy. So like it was on wheels. That's just yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I guess like until then, and I feel like even then, people will still find a way to meet up because I mean like causing havoc in the real world is always going to be more fun than causing havoc in the online world.
Mm.
Mm.
It depends. I guess it depends on
Because like
how realistic it is.
you need the real world stuff to post about in the online world. Otherwise, like what are you even posting about?
On
What are
what
you
happens in
bragging
the
about?
online world.
Yeah, but that doesn't give you like I feel like that doesn't give you as much like clout as something that you can achieve in the real world.
Maybe not today, but I'm saying like if you can imagine a world where people's they live out their actual lives in like in a virtual platform, it really wouldn't be that different. Like your virtual person could go even if your physical body is just sitting still. Like they could go to work, they could do all types of other things, like right? And that way what you post is just it's just really a like running board of social media shit anyway that everyone has access to on that same platform.
But what would you ever I feel like what would ever be impressive to anyone if everything you did you can do from sitting down?
I don't know that it
Like
would.
there are some times where people will post about like, oh, look at my job, I'm working at home, and like the point that it's impressive is that someone is actually paying you to do that because like, wow, that's amazing. Like you get paid to sit at home all day. Like that's the flex on that one. But like if everyone's getting paid to sit
They
at
wouldn't
home,
post. They
then
would.
like there is nothing to like be impressed about.
Well, they would
But if you
post what
did
they
something
do.
in the real world, that would always be impressive because like that's always harder to
I,
do than like in the online world.
well, I don't think everything people post is impressive just because they did it in the real world. But I
But I
mean,
would say generally real life posts would be more impressive
uh,
than
I think
online posts.
I think that opinion. While I agree with it, I think that opinion is a reflection of our age, though. Like I don't think that's necessarily going to be true for people 40 years from now, if we continue the route that we're going. Like there could be a time where things that you do on like the way we gauge whether something's impressive or not might not still be attached to real world things. It could be attached to online things. And that's already in a lot of ways kind of happening like this is a partial example because obviously you still have to be in your physical body to do this, but like video games, like it's a lot of it you're not using much of your physical body to do it all. Like it's a lot of hand-eye coordination, like thinking through things, but a lot of people like watching people who are very very good at specific games, even though like they could never do some of that stuff in real life. I'm willing to bet you more people will get views for playing Call of Duty than they do shooting actual guns.
Do you think so? Like
Absolutely.
you think
Yeah,
if I
for sure.
started
Absolutely.
a channel shooting
Well,
guns
no, well, no,
or
not
playing
not
Call of
you.
Duty,
No,
the
not
one
you. Not you specifically. I'm saying the general category of like people who on the internet who appreciate Call of Duty content, regardless of what it is. I think that group of people is larger and more attentive of an audience than the people who shoot guns in real life and post their stuff.
okay.
Even if we can agree it's much more impressive to shoot an actual gun, the people who've grown up watching Call of Duty and who grow up like as that game being a threshold for them don't necessarily care about real guns.
Well, I mean, like Call of Duty is different. Like you're doing different things with guns. Like if you were rolling
Okay,
around,
okay.
like if someone like if there's like a CIA agent like who's like assassinating Putin in like the most crazy epic ways, and he just did this regularly and posted it online, I bet you that would like pretty much kill anything because that's like what Call of Duty is. But if it was just like a gun simulation video game
Dude,
versus just
no,
like a real gun,
no, I'm telling you,
like
class setup videos, just if you just took all of the views on class setup videos for Call of Duty guns, they're not doing anything but telling you what's on the gun. That's it. What they do, because the thought is if you have a special class, you'll be able to get more kills or get more whatever points and shit in the game. I'm willing to bet, like yeah, you're right. In part, it's because of the objective you're trying to go do with it, but like just that video would definitely I think get more views than like here is my actual gun and like the pieces of equipment that I have like put on it to modify it.
yeah, if you were like, here's my actual gun, and here's the pieces of equipment I put on to modify it, and I'm about to go take it and assassinate the president of Russia with it, that would beat it. But like, yeah, if you were just like showing a gun that no everyone knows you're not gonna ever use or do shit with, yeah, it's not the same
Yeah.
because like that's
But
boring.
that but
But like,
that's what makes the internet give you more possibilities because there are things you can do on the internet that you necessarily can't do in real life. I can shoot as many people as I want to on Call of Duty. I can't go simulate that in real life. So in that case, like it necessarily can't be as impressive because it can't happen in real life without serious consequences. That's the other like advantage of the internet is that you can do things you can't imagine doing in real life with almost zero consequence.
Yeah,
yeah,
the closest you can get is like paintball or airsoft. But
Yeah.
if you do videos of that, like you either look at as like a psychopath in hiding or
Yep.
very lame.
Especially if you're good at it. Especially if you're
Yeah.
good at it. Yeah,
that's
you're
funny.
not a good person if you if you just post that for some reason. Like that's so funny that like the perception is so different. Like that person spent time like figuring out how to actually move themselves to be like covert, and we're like, what the fuck's up with this weirdo?
It's
I
like,
would
wait,
bet
this guy can
though.
kill in real life? Nah, man, nah, that's not. Mm-mm.
That's not it.
I would bet though, and I don't know this for sure, but I'm kind of willing to put a small amount of money on the fact that YouTube would pay you more per 1,000 views on an airsofting video than a Call of Duty video.
Yeah, because they know you're not gonna get nearly as many views.
So it's worth more, even
Yeah,
if you do get more views.
it's not really worth more if you don't get like even a fraction of the views.
I mean, I guess yeah, it depends on like how much
Yeah.
they actually end up paying, because it seems like
Well, it
it
depends on how
ranges
many
back
views you're gonna
pretty
get. Like
heavily.
the rate doesn't matter if you never have any views anyway.
Right? Yeah, 0 times
Yeah, they're
50 is
like, do
still
you know
zero.
what YouTube's gonna pay me if anyone ever views this video? It's like they'll give me $10,000 a view. You have like one view.
Let's see.
I'm actually betting that it's worse
So
because there's no views.
this guy has 2 million subscribers. So there's a strong airsoft following. There's money to be made there. On for I'm not sure about streaming. Probably maybe streaming, but like at least on YouTube, people are watching it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure that that community exists. I just know that it pales in comparison to like first person shooters.
I wish I knew like how much money these like channels were making. There's a way to like kind of like find out, but I never really learned completely how. Yeah, like this channel that was like third down on the list of uh, channels has 200 million views on it. Like even if they pay you like $5 per 1,000 views, which is like, isn't that like smaller? Isn't that like a low number? So five
Uh,
times
that sounds
181.
that sounds high.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's a lot. So what, $3 maybe?
Well, usually you start off at like a couple cents.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not
per
sure.
1,000 views.
Hmm.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I
Doesn't
thought it
it
was. I
depend
thought.
on like what subject you're doing though?
Yeah, it does, but
I
I would say
thought.
you can expect between like 2 and 75 cents if you're just like brand new, like just coming in completely raw.
Yeah, I was gonna say I thought it was under $1, but I actually don't know.
Yeah, how do you know? That's the real question.
I just know the
Well,
views.
if it's $1, that means he's made $180,000
Yeah,
since
but
he started the channel.
and how long do you think it took him to get to 2.2 million?
He has 181 million views. Oh, this guy only has 1.6 million subscribers that we're looking at.
Oh, okay. And that channel started when?
2016. So what was that, 7 years ago?
Yeah, so you
6 years
basically
ago?
could have just you
Terrible.
could have worked at McDonald's and made more.
Yeah, it's awful.
Well, I mean, like if he does this full time,
Yeah, yeah, and that's the crazy part. Like it just at that level, it's not worth it unless you can scale like super fast,
so it looks like he
or you're gonna
posts
do it
like
on the
once
side,
a month.
like you said.
Yeah, and these like literally the way he builds the channel, it looks like Call of Duty. Like he literally every thumbnail looks exactly like Call of Duty, but when you click on it, it's actually Airsoft. Yeah, some of these have a couple million views. I don't know. I guess I'd like to know how much you actually get paid for like, because like airsofting is a totally different subject, and I would guess like different people would want their product advertised next to airsoft videos rather than Call of Duty videos, unless it's like some like energy drink. I feel like that's either of them go there. But I thought that's what made all the difference is like the subject you do, because that depends what advertisers want their videos next to. But I don't know. I feel like you almost need a lawyer just to navigate how YouTube works. You need a
Yeah.
YouTube expert.
Well, the other part of that though is that I think in the future, and people are already kind of doing this now. People just do it for the clout, not necessarily how much YouTube would pay them. Like I think views in itself is a way of like social currency now. Like saying you have a certain amount of followers, saying you have this many or whatever. Like so
Definitely.
even if they don't pay for it, I think people are gonna do it because people started doing it and making it a thing before people were ever paying for it in the first place. Like that's how we got here.
Hmm.
It's definitely like social currency. Like if I yeah, 100%. Like you can be the exact same person you are right now, but if you add the point that you have a YouTube channel with 2 million subscribers, like instantly like everything about you has more interesting, more valuable, more sought after. People
Ugh.
like want to know more about it, get close to it, like say that they know you. It's like interest, like instantly, and like yeah, that's with 2 million subscribers. Really, like if you had like 500,000, I feel like you could basically have that amount of clout.
It's funny
It's
because
like damn,
that's
Yeah.
around the point I stop watching people because usually that's around the point where their content starts changing.
yeah, yeah, because that's the point where they start really making money.
Yep.
Like, ooh, I could overproduce this video now.
Yeah, I don't mind if it like the content itself gets better. Like if like you said if you get cameras and shit like that makes sense. But like if the actual content is just just completely changed, then it's just like well you're
Yeah, it's
you're
just
one of the
Yeah.
masses now.
I was out having dinner with my brother and my younger cousin like last week. He's 20, 22, and like some people got seated next to us, and these girls were taking Instagram videos and stuff like that. And he noticed that they took a video and a picture with us in it, like in the background. He was like, "Yeah, I should go up to her and like ask her to add me and tag me in the picture or something like that." And I was like, "Wait, you like people actually do that? And he was like, yeah, like that's that like you can get someone's like number that way. Like that is like the equivalent of getting someone's number. And he was like, but I couldn't ask her because I don't have enough followers. And I'm like, wait, are you serious? He's like
Damn.
he's like, yeah, like I would have to
Yeah.
have like just by the way that she looks, I have to have like at least these many followers to even like
Yeah.
attempt to
See,
give her my screen name.
yeah, see, that's gross.
Yeah. So
And
it's like it's
immediately,
already out there.
yeah,
Like
immediately I don't want that woman anymore. Like if you say to yourself, like I have to have a certain amount of followers to even approach them, like holy, oh, fucking hell.
but he's like
That's
about it. Like
hilarious.
he enjoys like
Yeah, I mean,
going
yeah,
after women like that.
yeah, Mazel. I mean, if that's your thing, that's your thing. I just couldn't do it. There'd be no way.
So yeah, it's for real.
Yeah,
Like
it's out there now. That's. Mm,
Yeah,
mm.
speaking of followers and YouTube channels, it looks like we have almost 1,000 views. We're at like 929.
Jesus.
Like at this rate, I think only like 5 more videos and we'll get 1,000. And I'm not even kidding. I think that's how much it would take to get our 1,000.
Yeah.
But that means we'll hit our 1,000 views in like sometime at the end of February, maybe middle of February. That would be something. Our first 1,000 views on our way to the big dogs.
how many away is that from 1 million?
999,000.
Okay. Only that many more views until I retire.
Yeah.
So you're never retiring.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I can't imagine that happening, but if it ever got that high, there's no way I'm gonna keep doing this.
Dude.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't want to do it either,
Like I'm
honestly.
out of here. Just synthesize my voice and put me in AI.
Oh man.
Yep, I understand.
Dude, that dude from Milwaukee who interviewed the Kia Boys and got big, he has 1.3 million subscribers. That's something. Dude, what if what if I sent him an email and asked him to come on this podcast?
I
Like,
I
I don't even think I would want that to
I
happen,
would
actually.
really.
I'm not
I was
even
gonna say
I
sure.
would
I would really rather not.
I would retire.
You're like, I'm never retiring. I'm retiring.
Hmm.
That's hilarious. Yeah, why don't you want to talk to Tommy G, a local celeb?
Why do I want to talk to him?
Yeah, why would I
I
want
don't
to?
understand.
It would
Yeah,
be interesting.
what makes him interesting?
I'm sure, like, I mean, dude, he's like, so, like, what he does now that he's interviewed the Kia Boys, because he was like nothing, like, before then, but
I
he
don't even
interviewed
know
the
who the
Kia
Kia
Boys.
Boys are.
No.
I
You
have
don't
no.
know who the Kia Boys are?
No, why would I know them?
Wait, are you serious? You
Yeah,
said, why would I?
I'm dead serious. Yeah.
Bro, you've never heard of the Kia Boys?
Is there something you can relate them to that I would know? Like
Holy
I'm not
shit,
joking. I
dude.
don't know who you're
How
talking
did
about.
this happen? Like, did we never talk about this on the
Wait, so
podcast or something?
before you like go ahead, like just completely blindly, like without any context, what would you guess the Kia Boys are?
The
Yes.
Kia Boys. Um, people who stole Kias.
Oh, okay, you nailed it.
There you go.
You nailed it. Dude, I
That's
thought for
really
sure you were gonna say a Broadway like play or something like that.
that's really what it is.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
it.
Oh,
It's
okay. Well,
like
I've heard that people were stealing Kias, but that's
the
literally
Kia
the
Boys.
extent to that I heard. I have no idea.
Dude, your brand is trash. Like you guys, like it's known for getting stolen.
Brand awareness.
You just get to say Kia Boys, like, and you know that's just people who steal Kias.
And I actually did not know. I shit you not. I had never heard that before at all. But yeah, that would have been my guess.
Well, the Kia Boys, if you didn't know, were a group of kids that started in Milwaukee who were stealing Kias and like posting them on TikTok and stuff during the pandemic. And then
Why would you interview them?
the whole term and phrase like Kia Boys like caught on and like became trending, and then they were like everyone was stealing Kias. Like that's just what you did. Like period. And like now like there's like serious like Kia Boys like everywhere. Like, I don't know how serious they are, but I think there's a couple serious ones. But Tommy G would know the most actually. But like he is this like random YouTuber. Like I think he was just making like the most random ass videos before he somehow got an interview with a group of these hooligans who were stealing Kias and causing a ruckus. And like basically it was like a video, like he like took the camera out there, like interviewed them in the hood, like asked them like why they did it, and
And what'd they say?
it got like what they say they did it because like no one was at home and they were just out here suffering. So like to get a little bit of enjoyment, they just wanted to hop in a Kia. And it's so easy that all you have to do is just open the door and press the gas pedal and drive away. Like, like they just did it. Period. And that I think that video, like I forgot, it got like tens of millions of views. Like, and now ever since then he goes to like all around the world to like hoods and like shit holes and just interviews like what people would generally think the worst parts of society are.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, cash in on that hood tourism.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, that hurts. And he's the whitest person you will ever see. Like
Yeah.
literally, like
So does
I
he invest that
yeah.
money back in the community? I'm just wondering.
I'm not sure. No, I doubt it. I mean, like, not that I've ever seen. Like, I can't really speak for him on
Mm,
that, but like, I've never seen anything. I don't know if he's
yeah.
big enough to give back yet. He's only got how many subscribers? 1.2, 1.3 mil. He's maybe getting there. I feel like yeah, now's the time to start asking questions like, "Hey, what'd you ever do with us?"
Well, all right. That is. Wow. Yeah, I've never heard of that before. Or Tom. Yeah, I never heard of Tommy G either. Um.
Tommy G. Yeah, I don't know
Okay.
where he's from, but it's not Milwaukee. He's like from like one of the suburbs, maybe around Milwaukee or some like way out there. But like you
Mhm.
can tell like how people from Milwaukee talk. Even if you're like white, you just like talk a little bit different. And if you're from like up north or somewhere else in Wisconsin, it's just like yeah, you have a different dialect for sure. But yeah, somehow no
Sweet.
one's like shot him dead straight in the streets. Like
Oh, you know what? That actually reminds me. Speaking of like interviews that got lots of views, did either of you see any part of the Cat Williams thing interview?
yeah, yeah.
Okay. And you did
I
not. So you did not at all, Guda?
I mean, I've seen like 1 to 2 minutes of it,
Okay.
maybe.
All right.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I've seen it.
Yeah, I haven't seen like the entire thing, but yeah, I've seen like clips because I actually followed the guy who did the podcast before that one came out. But yeah, that was that was really something. Wait,
So you
so
saw the whole thing?
I saw most of it. Yeah, I saw
Okay.
like all but like maybe some introductions and maybe like 20 minutes of him talking about his family. And Flora, you said you did see it?
yeah, I saw most of it as well. Not the
Okay.
whole thing straight through, but like I would say I saw like at least like 90% of it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'd say so too. Wait, so are you ever gonna do you ever plan on watching it, Guda?
Yeah, eventually,
Okay.
but I mean, I don't mind hearing about it.
Oh, okay. I didn't want to like completely ruin it for you. So yeah, that was a wild interview. So for those of for you or who were listening to this in 20 what is it? 23, 22? Shit, I don't know. Like years in
2020. Oh, 22,
22, 20,
24.
24? Yeah.
Wait, no, 22, 22,
Oh, 22, 22.
I think.
Okay.
Whatever.
All
Yeah,
right.
the
Yeah,
future.
the future. Yeah. So there is a there's a guy who used to play professional football named Shannon Sharp, and he has his own podcast or like yeah, basically yeah, it's like a place where he interviews famous people called Club Shay Shay basically, and he had his first interview of the new year with the one and only comedian Cat Williams who had quite a bit to say about basically everyone. So, yeah, he made a lot of accusations about um, comedians stealing jokes. Basically, like Steve Harvey, Cedric the Entertainer, people who are pretty like notable, especially in the like the black black community for comedy. Like they're like top dogs, and he just was like shitting on all of them. And then he
Does
was
it
go ahead.
does it matter that he had like 5 glasses of whiskey?
No, because it's weird. He started off on them. Like, so he might have had five throughout the whole thing, but honestly, I think the whiskey slowed him down from talking. Like, 'cause if he was
Okay.
more sober, I think he would have said more. Crazy
All
enough.
right.
But yeah, so I don't, because he came out on fire with them. So yeah, he also made a lot of accusations about how people get um ahead in Hollywood, suggesting that um like he's talking a lot about like the Epstein thing, and he said that basically P Diddy, Sean Puffy Combs, that he likes to party with a lot of the talent that he brings onto his labels, and basically partying means like you're having doing some wild things in the back room for some change. So yeah,
In
so
exchange for a piece of change.
yeah, so he made a lot of accusations about people like Ludacris doing that, because like it basically started on how Dave Chappelle had turned down a lot of money a long time ago when he stopped doing Chappelle's show, and he was talking about how there's a lot of people in Hollywood who definitely have taken up the powers that be on that deal. So, and he was basically talking about how he isn't one of them. He also said that like Kevin Hart is a plant. Like he thinks he's a he's a person that's taken someone up on that deal. So yeah,
Wait, so just to back up, are you saying he said people like Ludacris and what is he known now as? P. Diddy? Diddy?
yeah, yeah, yep.
Was he saying that those people were performing the
He
acts or the acts were getting performed on them or both?
So Puffy what seems to be the P Diddy seems to be like the gatekeeper in Cat Williams' story, or like one of the gatekeepers to like gaining entrance into this world where you get promoted very fast and your career skyrockets. That's what he's
Mhm.
suggesting, and that people like Ludacris are the people who have taken the money to do such things and like secure
I
their
see.
spot. Yeah, yeah. He says that Puffy likes to party, and you've got to tell him no. That was what he said.
Yeah, I mean, isn't he in court for that right now?
I have no idea. Yeah,
I'm
who?
pretty sure.
P Diddy?
Mm-hmm.
P Did?
Yep.
I have no idea. Yeah, but the claims were like that he was with men. Like, is that the claims that are against Puffy right now? Because
Oh
That's
no.
what
No,
Cat
that's
Williams is
something
suggesting.
different.
Yeah, okay.
But I've heard that
Yeah,
about
yeah. He's
yeah.
not the first person to suggest that Puffy likes to get a little wild. So yeah,
Yeah,
that
that's
was
crazy.
that was crazy. So yeah, I just wanted to know what you guys thought about that, or basically like, do you think that's happening? Do you think that like you have to make really strange deals with people who are elites to get ahead? I'm not suggesting what those deals entail. I have no idea. But do you think something like that exists?
I
Yeah,
mean,
absolutely.
yeah, none of them denied it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think once you start mixing up with people, with anyone with any kind of societal power, like there will come a point where you'll need to prove that you are trustworthy enough to remain in that circle, and it will oftentimes be something unsavory or against your will, or just something to let them know that you're willing to leave your old life behind and and
And
stick with
bow
them for
down.
the long haul.
Mm,
And
Ugh.
usually that's got to be something like,
yep.
you know, life changing.
Yeah. Yeah. Really life
Yes,
changing.
Yeah.
specifically, he was saying that like all the black actors like had to wear a dress before they're allowed to get big.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
like of the black male actors in particular. So like he was saying Kevin Hart, like except they asked Cat Williams to do it and he said no. So then they went to Kevin Hart and asked him and he said yes. So then like the next movie he was in a dress or whatever. And then after that, like he
Well, that
got a
was.
deal to do 20 movies. And then he said they all like part of the contract after like they wear the dress and like humiliate themselves or whatever, like is that they get like a bunch of movies or whatever, and then they get what did he say?
A
A
pale
light
a
skinned,
pale-faced wife.
yeah,
A
a pale
pale-faced,
faced wife
ugly,
who
ugly
doesn't
wife.
say shit,
Yeah,
who doesn't ever talk to anyone.
yeah. That's part of the deal that they give you. He says, and
Hilarious.
he said that can apply to at least 7 people in Hollywood. Just those things explicitly that Valero just named.
Yeah.
Wait, so is it just because I've heard this dress thing also, is it just the the very like notion of you being in a dress on film for all of like perpetuity that's supposed to be the humiliation, or does something happen to you also in that dress
I
afterward?
think
I
I assume it's just the dress in perpetuity on film.
Oh, that's so dumb then.
I no,
'Cause
Yeah,
like
I think
it's
it's more than
losing its.
I think it's more than that.
Oh man, I mean, honestly, it could be.
like if it's like the same dress where like you got everything taken away from you and then you got to wear it in the movie,
Oh,
like that's
everything taken away from you. Jesus Christ,
and it's like the movie that made you like a
it
star.
sounds horrible.
Like
Oh
then I get
god.
it. Like, oh wow, that's a
Ooh,
lot.
yeah, that's brutal. You said everything taken away from you.
Like that's really that's mm-mm-mm.
Yeah, I
So yeah,
wouldn't
that's
do that.
probably what's
Like,
happening. So
yeah, probably. If someone does that, then like they're gonna do whatever else you ask them because that's not nearly as bad.
Oof, yeah,
Ugh.
really something. Yeah, but Cat Williams said it all, man. He said, and I don't think Shannon Sharp was ready for that. So he was he was sitting there like, man, I really hope I have a podcast after this.
hey, was
Dude,
he looking at the camera like,
Yeah.
guys?
No, they just kept going, and that which because it's not like
he
live or
like never
anything.
said anything.
Yeah, it's
He
Oh,
not
just
okay.
really
made
it's not
noises.
live.
He was
Oh,
like,
you just let him go.
he
Okay,
was just
that
like,
that's
Yeah,
good.
yeah. Yep. You
he was
just
Good
like,
let
you
him
interview.
can't.
talk.
I
Yeah.
just, that was it. That's all he did the whole time. Like he just like he would start to say a word and then stop, and then he would pause so then Cat Williams could keep going.
Yeah. Which
He's
is
like, you
good.
can't.
Which is good. I don't really prefer to hear from Shannon Sharp on his podcast. That's or on his
His own
on
podcast.
his interview thing. Like he
Welcome to Shannon Sharp. Shut the fuck up, Shannon.
yeah yeah. Because like he definitely made that just for interviewing other people. So yeah, no, I wouldn't call it a podcast. It's like yeah, it's just an interview platform basically. But yeah, that was wild. I didn't think I'd ever see something like that. Just and to have Cat Williams still alive, I didn't think that those two things were possible. But yeah, he definitely said some things about like Steve Harvey and Saturday Entertainer that I certainly believe are the case. So
That Steve Harvey can't read.
What?
oh, well, I didn't
Yeah,
hear that.
he said Steve Harvey can't read. He's like, and I forgot what they told him.
No,
I
that was
forgot what
somebody.
he
No,
said.
that was somebody else. That was somebody else. He
He's
was
like,
saying
you know
can't
why
read.
he messes up on the teleprompters every time, still to this day, is because he can't read. Like he
What a
never
thing to
learned how to
like
read,
even
but he
like
accepted
say.
the contract. This
I
is
thought
why
that
he
was
was
somebody else that was saying that about.
no, that was Steve Harvey. He straight up said Steve Harvey can't read.
Oh, was he talking about when he like messed up the name on that card?
No, he's just saying like every day of his life.
Okay.
Yeah, like he didn't even point out a specific time. He just said that's why he literally can't even like read from cue cards because he can't read at all. I was like, damn. And
Yeah,
then
that's
he also said that like Steve Harvey stole his backstory by saying that he was homeless before he got famous. Because I guess Kevin Hart, I'm not Kevin Hart, Cat Williams said only he was homeless before he got famous. Like that can't be other people's backstories.
No, he's saying that he wasn't homeless because at the time that he was telling that story and saying that he was homeless, like that he was making like exorbitant amounts of money in reality, and Cat Williams knew that. So he's not saying that he was never homeless or never struggled. He's saying that the time that Steve Harvey is acting like he was struggling, he really wasn't. He was doing that so that he could be a more relatable character.
Oh, that's what he was saying.
Yeah. because he was
Oh,
saying
I,
that the
I
time the
thought he
time
was
he
saying
that
that he
he's
could never have been homeless because only Cat Williams can be homeless.
no
I was
no
like, I was
no
like,
he's
okay.
just saying he lied about like his claim his rise to fame because he said he was like doing shows at that time where the guy was making like 3 grand a night or something like that.
Wait, John, can I ask you a question that will might kind of derail? Like, do you like
Yeah,
the
go ahead.
so is there anything else like big you wanted to like touch on about this?
No, I just thought it was interesting, and I'm glad that some people like some people like could see Steve Harvey for like apparently who he is because I don't know something about Steve Harvey has always been a little off to me, but like the joke thing I've always noticed that he definitely tells other people's jokes. Like I've even seen it myself. So yeah, so it's crazy.
I didn't know that there was anything that there was an issue with Cedric the Entertainer. That is news to me. So I'll have to check in what he says about him. Um, but I was laughing to myself when you mentioned that he like stole like the homeless story because the last time when Blair and I were together, we came across this like kind of funny conundrum of do you think a person that's like a white person, just a normal white person,
Hmm.
do you think they become a minority if they become handicapped or otherwise like in a life periling situation? Like if you're homeless, like are you like, do you become considered a minority after that happens to you? Like
Uh,
you're a completely able-bodied white woman and for some reason you become a quadriplegic and now like your life is in a chair. Like, do you think that person is allowed to claim that they're part of a minority group?
yeah, yeah, for sure.
Okay. All right.
By
So,
by definition, they are. Like I'm sure society doesn't see them that way, but yeah, they there might be some people who don't think that, but yeah, I think so. They're just not
wait,
part of
you
what
don't think so?
I do.
You don't think people like, so
Wait,
you don't think people would start to look at her as a minority just because she's like considered disabled
no, I do. No, I do think she would be considered a minority.
just by looking at her?
Like, you think other people would
I
think
don't
that
I don't
too?
understand. Like yeah, it's apparent. No, you're saying that she's a
Yeah.
quadriplegic. Like I can see that she's in a wheelchair. Yeah, that's it's pretty apparent. Yeah, yes.
Like that's the same as having like black skin.
No,
Is that what you're
what?
saying? Like, is that the same as having black skin essentially?
No, but that's not
Not
what
for
my
you. I'm saying is like, is that
no.
what? Okay, so she's not a minority, but
No,
she's
she
in a
is.
minority group. Okay, all
Okay.
right, but so
What?
Like,
just
you
by
can't say
seeing
the
her,
N word.
no,
What?
she can't. But
Why are you defining minority to mean skin color?
I actually know
no,
what started this conversation. I remember what it was.
because like because if you're part of a minority group, like typically you're thinking like race or ethnic background or whatever, but also if you're disabled, I was thinking that that also puts you as part of a minority group. So I thought it was
Yeah.
interesting that you could be a completely able-bodied, non-minority person, and then all of a sudden something happens to you, and now someone can look at you the same way as if they're looking at someone with colored skin. Like someone could see you like at the bus stop and be like, "Oh, look at that's a minority." When all like for 58 years of your life, you could have been a white woman, like the furthest thing away from, well, like
Yeah.
actually, maybe a white man, like you're the furthest thing away from a minority, and then like you get in one accident, all of a sudden now someone's looking at you like, wow, so can I like have a chat with you about your people and like what you're going through? And you're like, My people? Like, what do you
I
mean?
Well, it's
think
not.
It's like
I think the
the
reality is
handicap.
that it's actually worse if you become handicapped in that way. I don't think people give a shit about actual disabled people. I think you get much more like attention today at least if you're a skin color minority for sure.
Okay, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I
So I
agree.
think you actually you go
I
on to
think it
the
ebbs and
I
flows.
think you go into the other side. Like you, for you, it's worse. Like because like you're actual. First of all, like yeah, you're a part of a minority group, so people's perception of you is different. But then you also physically can't do things.
Yeah, okay, but I'm not talking
Okay,
about
so what
like
if your disability is that you are a white male, but then your skin turned dark? Like it was just a
What?
weird like
hey.
skin
How?
condition where it just turned
Wait,
like
how is my
darker.
how is my disability that I'm a, wait. My disability is that
Yeah, isn't that crazy? Like some
what?
disabilities do not make you a minority. Like that would not make you a minority.
So that doesn't wake you mind. Okay, so what if
I mean, it
you lost a
would.
leg and you had the one that
No, but you're not.
You would.
Like no one's gonna look at you and say like, "Oh, look, a minority." They just be like, "Oh, dude, that guy has a bad skin condition."
But what if he got shot
Okay,
by the cops
are you
instantly
asking me
because
if
he
I
was
think
pulling out
other
his cell
people will
phone?
see it as a minority, or if people, or if they are a
Yeah, I was just
minority?
thinking like you. I was thinking, what do you think, and what do you think the general public thinks?
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
I think that it does instantly make you a minority, and I think
Yes.
other people look at you as a minority too.
I don't think other people look at you as a minority in the same way, and in some ways, I would think they would think of you as less of a minority because of what you said earlier about how people associate minority with skin color a lot of times. So, but yes, I also agree that that instantly would make you a minority.
Okay.
Not having arms and legs, not the skin color one, right?
Not having like just one finger in some ways makes you like not having 10 fingers that you're in the minority. Like that's crazy.
I remember what started this conversation when we were together is that we
Hmm.
were watching this YouTube video. I think it might have actually been one of Tommy G's videos or something. And he goes to like Chicago and like interviews like some of these MS-13 gangs, which are like all Latino. And like the all like a lot of them were just like shouting the N-word like it's just nothing. Like that's it's just like yeah, like I don't like I never noticed that like they do that. Like and like it doesn't matter. Like you just like no one's saying a word about it. Like no one even bats an eye. And I guess like it's okay because like they're a skin color minority, like you said. And then from that, that's when I think you or one of us asked the question. Uh, does so like if like yeah, that's
If
your
a
question
white
of like
person becomes handicapped, does that mean they can say the N word
basically
because
like
they're in the
that's
minority?
right because like we're trying to piece together why like these like people can say the N word because like I never knew that like I didn't know like Latinos could say the N word. Like I
I
thought
don't
you couldn't
remember
say
it
the N
quite
word.
happening like that, but that is interesting. I just think the whole thing is interesting. That that one thing could change about you, and now all of a sudden you are in the disenfranchised group.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think people probably allow it in the one case and not the other case because it's about the person saying it needing to have experienced it some way themselves in a way that like everyone else can perceive. Like,
Hmm.
uh, and even that's a bad definition because I think a lot of white people could relate to that too in a lot of ways. So like some of the if the way it's gonna go is like you have to understand what it's like to be discriminated against on your skin color. Like I'm sure there's plenty of white people who could just be like, all right, well fucking nigga, like immediately, like so, because
Oh
like if you grow up if you grew up with nothing but
yeah,
black people or like Hispanic people and like that you're the like one of the few, like I'm sure you have differences in how you're treated too. So I don't not that it's necessarily bad. I just think everyone has that at some point. So yeah, that is weird but I don't know, like I don't even know how it necessarily helps the disabled person to be able to, like even let's just say that like they also allowed that, right? Like they said, okay, you are part of the disenfranchised group, so now you can say it too. You can say the N word.
Could you
Like
imagine?
what, like how does it even help me? Like if I've just lost my legs, like you coming up to me and making me like an honorary member, that doesn't, I like
I don't think it
get the
does
fuck
help
away
you,
from me.
but
Now
I
you
just
have
think it.
community.
Yeah, but I think it's funny because
Fucking hell.
I think everyone wants to be a minority, right? Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
everyone wants to claim
Oh yeah.
something. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
It's become an exclusive club.
yeah. And all you gotta do is become a paraplegic, and you can enter. Like it's so, like it seems so absurd, but like that's real life.
Yeah, and you might be able to get away with saying the
I
N word.
I very rarely hear people who are like physically disabled talk at all about having a disability. The people that I talk about being in a minority group the most are the most able-bodied of people. Like every single time. Like the
The
people who
lady who started the black in the in the workplace.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, this motherfucker is completely able and just decided, nah, I'm not gonna do it. I'm just gonna talk
Let
about it
me
on
become
fucking
unhireable.
LinkedIn. Let me just become unhireable instantly. Yeah, like fucking hell, that's great. And she'll be the one to be like, these people are discriminating against black people. That's why I can't get a job. Like, have you looked at your fucking posts? Like, what the fuck? Who would
Yeah,
hire
like
you? I wouldn't hire
yeah,
you.
I would never touch that.
Oh my god, you're a fucking legal nightmare. Holy shit.
Right, a lawsuit waiting to happen.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. That is interesting that we place those lines where we do, because they don't necessarily make a lot of sense sometimes.
Granted, all the guys in the videos had like AK-47s and machetes in their hands and masks on, so like, who's gonna say anything? Like,
Yeah, you can say
they
whatever
could
you
shout the
want.
N word straight to my face and any other word, and I would be like, "Good day, sir. Yes, very good."
Wait. So that's actually interesting. Would you do something if someone called you that and they weren't armed? Like, does it change for you if they're they like
I'm
are
not gonna do a goddamn thing. I
That's
don't
that's
care.
that's what I was thinking, but like
Like what? Okay.
the way Valero said it was like, well, shit, you're lucky you got your fucking gun on you, because I would have came for your ass.
You about to square up right here.
The way he said it was like he was ready for a fight.
Well, I
Uh,
mean, like,
These days, I would be shocked to even hear it like in a like a negative context. I would just think they'd be like trying to like say like "What's up?" I'd be like,
right,
"Oh,
yeah,
hey,
that's weird.
that's strange that you chose to use that word, but what's going on?"
Yeah.
yeah, like you know how like on those jail like reality shows where they like follow someone who goes in jail for the first time, and there's
Hmm.
like a bunch of dudes who just like everyone's screaming like bitch, 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 like straight in his ear as he's walking to his jail cell. Like, like that's what I imagine someone doing to you, like as you're walking down the street. You're like, oh, like hello, sir. Greetings unto you as well.
I mean, why are they following me and yelling at me at the same time? That's crazy.
This is the Wild West.
You better run. That person's deranged.
Yeah,
Like,
you got.
yeah, you gotta get out of
Yeah,
there
you don't
for
want to
sure.
fight the person that's going to follow you down the street, looking at you as they walk sideways to follow you, yelling the N-word in your face. Like that person's long gone.
Yeah, you
They've
need
been
to
out to
get out
lunch
of there.
forever, bro. Yeah, get out of there.
When's the last time either of you were in a dead sprint?
Probably like a year and a half ago, which is way too long. That's pretty bad. I'm ashamed to say that.
Hmm,
How long ago was August? That's how long it was for me.
Like 5 months, 6 months, 5 months.
5 months. Yeah. Mine probably like a month ago.
Nice. Okay.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good day to you, sir.
Good day.
Yeah.
Greetings.
Yeah, I don't do it very often, for sure, but
What did it feel like?
bad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Like I couldn't get enough air, and like my knee was gonna buckle.
Oh man.
Did I show you the video of Rick Ross jumping off a dive board and completely collapsing?
No.
No, that doesn't sound familiar.
Oh my
He must
god.
still be alive though, because I didn't hear anything about it.
Well, the moment I type in Rick Ross, it just Rick Ross diving pool just comes straight up.
Like, how do you even allow something like that to get on camera? Like
Dude,
that's
I'm gonna
insane.
post
Like
it.
someone like him with all the resources and reason to keep his brand like as
Or
cool as possible, even he couldn't get away from.
like it's Rick Ross. Like he's supposed to be like the big boss. Like respect. like don't say shit. But like,
Why? Yeah. It even has like even the way it's titled, it has an exclamation point like, "Whoa, man, we got it!" Ha!
yeah, like so he's at this huge pool party at his own house actually, and like everyone's got their
Oh
cell phones out, so
man.
he's getting on the diving board,
Yo,
and
people
he's just
people behind him are like already laughing.
yeah, like oh man,
The way he made it
yeah, that's
sound, I thought he had
hilarious.
like missed the pool. I was like, he's dead. He's
Oh
dead then,
man.
huh?
Like that the dude in the white tee, he's like, "Man, I can't believe this
Dude, he
guy
was
let this
dying.
happen."
Like
Oh,
that was like he's laughing so hard. He probably went back and made sure he never invited him to his house ever
Yeah, dude, you can't go back now.
again.
Yeah, he messed it up.
Dude, he's recording and laughing, but he didn't post his video. I've only seen this view. So the only person ballsy enough to actually post a video out of all the people who behind him who have their cameras out are the people from like all the way across the pool.
I mean, but
Thank
he did
God
cut
for
it out
good viewing.
before like the lifeguards jumped in or anything.
Oh no, there's a longer video.
Do
You
you
want to
think
see that
there's
one?
even No, I don't want to see it.
no, please.
'Cause I was gonna ask, do you think these parties have lifeguards?
No, there's not a fucking lifeguard in sight there.
Like how can you have like armed security but not a lifeguard?
Why would
Like
you?
you care about your life but not enough to care about if you start drowning? What's your security guard gonna do? Shoot you? Like, oh god, he's not breathing. Oh god, good, his heart's starting. Boom, boom.
I mean,
What-
at that party specifically, though, it would be a little crazy if he fell into the water and just didn't come up. And with 70 people around the pool, no one went to get him.
Oh my God,
Like,
no
surely,
one
surely
knows.
he can't drown in
No
that
one jumped
scenario,
in right
right?
away, but
Well,
everyone saw that his knees buckled. Like you can't use your legs,
no,
but everyone's
no,
just watching.
his legs are okay. He just
No
fell in.
one jumped. No one jumped in right after.
No, he
No,
said
no,
in an
we
interview
have to
that
give
he
him a
blew out
chance.
his knee so bad that he had to go to the hospital immediately after this.
Okay, well, he still clearly was able to wade his ass to the side of the pool because he got out.
No, all those people can never be invited ever again.
And I was wrong. There is a video from behind him, so like at least a couple of people from behind him posted their videos too.
Of course they did.
Hilarious.
Oh my god.
That's
Wow.
too funny.
Yeah, I would not have assumed from that he like blew his knee out. If one of you all did that, I would not come in for you immediately. I would not be thinking to myself like, "Oh, he's fucked." I legitimately would have thought you got it. Like
Like
now
he's
if I
just playing
When you
around down
if you
there.
saw like
the
when
way he
our
fell
knees
in,
like come like
I
oh
didn't
my
think
god.
did I miss
Oh,
something? Because I didn't think his knee looked crazy. Did I miss it?
Dude, it looked like both his knees just like
All right,
yeah,
stopped.
like
look again.
he tried to do the double jump on
Yeah.
like he
Yeah,
went up and
yeah.
instead of just jumping straight off,
It
he
looked
did a
no, I just
first
watched it
like a
again.
preliminary jump and tried to jump
Yeah.
back on the diving board, but like his heavy ass like his knees just buckled right underneath and he just
Yeah.
slid
Honestly, it
right
looked
off
like
the
he just
diving board.
mistimed his jump to me. Like I watched it and it didn't. It just looked like he's bad at jumping, so he got a fucking weird jump and fell in.
Oh my
I think it's a
God,
little bit
dude.
of both. But either way, like if you see that happen,
I would have assumed
I
it would have been
I'm
more on the.
immediately assuming that like this person is like in trouble.
Oh no, see, I wouldn't have thought that. That's
Okay.
funny. That's
Oh
interesting.
my God,
Yeah, don't fuck up a
that's too
dive around
funny.
me.
Yeah, John will be like, ah, he's fine.
You're probably like the person best suited to like save us.
No,
You just be like, "Whoa, man!
no,
I
I'd
can't
wait.
believe you did that."
No, I'd give you a chance to get up. If like 3 4 seconds go by and you still don't surface, all right, then I'm coming over at least.
Like,
I
you
feel
okay,
like that's
buddy?
too long.
You can't hold your breath for 3 or 4 seconds.
I guess it depends. Yeah.
No, your lungs are filled with water.
Jesus
It's like
Christ.
you go in like
It's starting to sound like you probably didn't belong in the pool. You have bad knees and you can only hold your breath for 3.5 seconds. Like, why are you here?
wait,
Yeah,
wait.
that's
I can
because
hold
he
my
thought
breath
he
for
was
longer
young.
than that.
Huh?
I can hold my breath for longer than that.
All right, yeah, good. No, I'm talking about like Rick Ross. It sounds like it's, it sounds like he's not made for this.
No, it's fine. They got security guards.
Yeah. Or,
I don't.
it's okay. There is no harm in admitting that you are not a diving board into the pool person. You're a slowly walk down the stairs with your hand on the metal staircase thing type of person. Like you just wade yourself in. That's okay.
I
Nothing wrong
may
with
Dude,
that.
wait.
what makes all this even better is in the full length video. He's like doing like a bunch of like prep work like before the dive. Like
Oh
he's like on the
no.
board, like hyping everyone up, like jumping back and forth, like yeah, yeah. He's like doing stretches, like acting like he's about to do the craziest flip, and then that's what he does.
Oh, that's what
Of
fucked
course.
him. The prep work.
Yep.
Yeah, he was, he was
Okay,
doing all this
all
work.
right, just some friendly advice for Rick Ross. If you ever listen to this, or maybe one of your descendants do, if you are a man of Rick Ross's stature, and you already have very little physical activity, prep work to do something like a dive, honestly, is just killing yourself. Your knees, those shock absorbers, probably only have about one or two hops in them. Let's just be honest, right? So let's just
I
step on
had
the
one.
fucking diving board, use your two hops for that prep, and then get in. But you fucking doing all this extra shit on the sidelines. You were gassed before you got up there. No wonder your knees buckled.
he was he was doing so much extra shit. It was
Yeah,
hilarious.
okay, that explains it. He fucked it.
And then everyone just like gasped when he jumped in, and like, oh, and then started laughing. Yeah, how is he supposed to rap about how tough and how much of a boss he is now? Like anytime he says that, you can just pull up a video and just show it to his face of this like happening right here, and he can't say shit unless he had an AK-47 or a machete. Then like I would be like, good day, sir.
Wait, so what type of person are you guys when you get in the pool? Like for example, I'm usually like I'll go to like the 5 foot 11 inch like type area, like sit in it with my feet like in the water first, and then like just kind of like jump. Like I don't know how to explain it. Like just like go off the ledge and then like go to the bottom of the pool and then jump up.
Oh, I see. Like jump straight in the deep end, basically.
Yeah, basically.
I
Not
feel
from
like,
like not like standing and jumping in,
but you
like
sit
a
and like
yeah,
slide
yeah, basically, yeah.
in. I feel like as far as getting in the pool, yeah, I'm jumping. It's always so painful to put in one or 2 feet in at a time. I gotta go full on. I don't have to do a cannonball per se, but everything's gotta hit the water within the same second. Otherwise, I'm
And are
gonna
you
take a
going
dump.
like all the way to the deep end?
Yeah, because I'm tall as fuck. So if I don't, I'm gonna break my legs or my face or whatever happens.
Are you gonna do a Rick Ross?
Yeah, I'm gonna dive to the bottom, get knocked out, and just like float up, like facing
Oh
downward.
God.
And John's gonna
Oh
be like, "He's
man.
all right. He's just playing around."
Just
Yeah.
give him 3 seconds.
Shouldn't have done all that prep work.
Yeah.
You know how old you are.
Yeah. He's be shaking her head. He's like, man, see him doing that prep work? Man, we told him.
No. No, no,
How old is Rick
legitimately,
Ross?
like, if someone was in trouble, like, and I could reasonably get to you, yeah, for sure, I'd help. But like, as we get older, there definitely needs to be some onus on you to just realize how old we are.
Mhm.
Like, because you're not just risking you anymore now. It's not like when you're 20, there's enough 20-year-olds around you that could save you. When you're 30, you've risked all of our joints now when you do some shit like that. Because like to get you, I gotta fucking get myself up and going. Like that's fucked. Like the only
Yeah,
people I
he
would do
is
that for
48,
unquestionably is
and
like
that
one of your
happened this summer.
kids. Like if your kid jumps, like if
Mhm.
your kid drops in, all right, I'm going in. Like if whoever's closest, we just gotta go get it. But
Mhm.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
true.
yeah. One of you, I expect more. Damn it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Yeah, you've been here
48,
for
so he
too
should have known.
long.
Yeah, you should know better.
Wait, so just going back to that question I had at the
What kind of pool
beginning,
person?
uh, related to what was it? Uh,
Disability.
John, that you're saying that people need things to happen like right away now
Mm.
instead of being able to like wait a little bit. And my question was like, at this point in time, how much are you guys willing to pay to ensure that the next, let's say, hour of your time is like enjoyable or good? Like if someone said, I don't know, uh, here's a $20 gift card to blank store. Is that enough to make that next hour worth it, or does it have to be more or less than that? Like, for example, I wouldn't be willing to spend more than $10 to make the next hour of my life more interesting than it is right now, if that
So
makes sense.
I'm guessing this is only happening like maybe like once a night at most or something like that. Like not something that's happening every hour of the day,
Right.
or
I
that
was
would be
thinking
way
even
too
like
normal.
less than that, like maybe once a week.
Okay. If it was once a week to make 1 hour more, like how enjoyable are we talking? Like just baseline, like acceptably enjoyable.
Yeah, I guess.
You're asking what's the most I would pay?
Yeah, just at this point in your life.
Mm,
Like, let's just say you could have your favorite candy bar right now.
Yeah, that's not enough. That's not enough. I would not pay
yeah,
for that.
that's not enough for me.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
wouldn't pay for that.
Um, I mean, it would make it like marginally better, but I wouldn't say it's exceptionally or not
Once,
acceptably enjoyable.
once a
Okay.
week.
Yeah. So what would it have to be, and like what would be the price threshold before you're like, oh, that's not really worth it.
I'm not sure what it would have to be, but I feel like the price threshold would be like $50 Yeah, for an hour. Whew. Like, yeah, it can't be a cent over $50. Like, it's got to be below 50 for only an
Uh,
hour.
for the right thing, yeah. I mean, anywhere from like 100 to 200, honestly. Like, I just think about like going to dinner. Like I could spend that at dinner fairly quickly, depending on where it is and what we get. So,
Yeah.
I've done. We literally just went to dinner this past weekend, and it was about that much, honestly. I mean, like I don't feel like that was too much because honestly, part of it was like with Danielle. So it also depends on like if you're enjoying with somebody else. Like for with the right people, honestly, I would spend the most I would spend. Yeah, probably like 300 or 400, probably. Maybe even more, depending on what it was. Like if it's something that we're doing for like once in a lifetime. Like I saw that there are places where you can actually like, or at least I think there are, where you can like fire like certain types of weapons. Like can you imagine like if you like fire a bazooka? Like I don't know how much that costs, but if you told me it costs $600, like I'd pay for it.
What if you accidentally
Mm.
shot it too close to the ground?
Well, then I'd be dead.
Like, dude, I saw that you could jump doing this.
Yeah, natural selection has taken hold.
Damn.
Yeah, that would be pretty crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, so for the right things, and I think it relates how much I would pay for it kind of relates to the person that I'm with to do it and the event's like scarcity. Like, is it something that I could see myself doing more than once? If not, then I feel like usually the price goes up a bit.
Yeah, I was more so thinking it's something just for yourself, and
Just for myself, yeah,
you're
like a
just
hundred then.
you're just I don't know, you're just doing nothing from 3 o'clock to 8 p.m. on a Tuesday afternoon, and everyone else is gone doing activities or something like that. Like, what's the most you'd be willing to spend to just make that time just? I don't know, something out of the ordinary, something special.
Yeah, like 100.
Yeah, I'll say 50.
Yeah, don't know what it would be, but yeah, I'd probably go to 100.
Okay. There's no more to that.
Well, there you
Yeah,
go.
that's it. I think I'd probably say 20. Though you can't really do much with that.
No, you can't.
Yeah, I'd imagine I just get like really, really good food. I
Yeah.
really don't need a like if I could just get some really, really good food and just that whole hour I'm just sitting and no one's saying anything to me or everyone's gone. That's a great day right there. That's just some quality alone time.
I like to
So how
get
much
like
does it take? How much does it cost to get rid of everyone? That's the real question.
It
yeah.
costs me nothing. Get out. That's
Yeah, if
funny.
you can get like a lot of time out of it, because if I was actually in that scenario, I would I would probably look for like some kind of 1 month subscription, because then it's like, oh, well, I spend this money once and then I get to enjoy it for the entire month.
Oh, I see.
That's
So
true.
you went outside the hour for your enjoyment. I didn't even consider that.
But maybe just knowing that you made that purchase made the next hour just that much better.
Yeah, because it's just like it's a new thing that I get to explore and enjoy.
Yeah, capitalism.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, consume, it's working.
Yeah. So what did we learn today, class? If you're the
Consume.
if you're the boss, Rick Ross, you should really make sure those ligaments are nice and bossed up too before you try anything crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when you're doing that prep work, you gotta consume that
Yeah.
pre-workout.
Yep. Jesus Christ. And if you're over the age of 30, I'm just curious out there right now, if swing still exists when whoever watches this watches it. Um, I'm wondering if you get sick on swings too. Am I just weird? I'm just curious.
So you're
Surely,
like, haha, if only he had known back then that that was the cause of this terrible disease and there's an
yeah,
easy cure, but they had no idea. Such a
Oh,
tragedy.
jeez.
yeah. Just it was just my brain telling me like, yeah, you're dying.
Yeah, you're dying. But we only will
Oh
tell
my
you if
God.
you get on a swing.
Yeah.
You gotta try the seesaw, man.
Yeah, that's the real
The
test. Find a
science needs to be
seesaw.
done.
Do it
Yeah,
quick.
up and down, I think would not feel good, but I feel like I could fight the nausea. It's the up and down while going side to side. That's
What if you close your eyes? Does that make it better?
Ugh,
no, no,
I
no,
can't even
no.
imagine.
Yeah, why would that make it better?
Like when you're doing it, do you just like keep your head straight or do you try and like stare in one spot?
When I swing,
Yeah.
no, I look around sometimes, but yeah, my head's basically in the same spot. I'm not like fucking jerking it.
Well, yeah, who knows, man.
Yeah, you just imagine like, yeah, of course that motherfucker's getting sick. When he gets on the swing, he just fucking throws his head straight into the chains and just. uh, yeah, that's definitely not it. I promise. I'm a little more responsible than that.
No, I mean like you know how like if you spin in circles, like you get a lot more dizzier if you just let your head spin at the exact same speed that your body's spinning, or if you spot or whatever, as like dancers would say, is
Oh,
where you just
okay.
like pick a spot and like keep looking at it and turning your neck, so like and just turning real fast, so you don't have to like really endure as much of the spinning.
I'm
Like,
I'm
but
imagining what that would be like, and that makes me nauseous right now. Just thinking about that.
have you ever tried VR?
Yeah.
Did that make you nauseous?
No.
Have you ever tried VR where like you can literally like move in first person, or was the moving weird?
No, the moving was a little weird. So it wasn't exactly like just me. I walk and then the person walks. Part of it was that, but yeah, that didn't make me sick or anything.
Yeah, when when that happens in VR for me, like it's like horribly nauseating. Like I get why they just do teleporting as like a movement in VR because like holy shit, like walking and that stuff, like yeah, that's that gets it for me. Like I will put the headset down in like 5 seconds if I walk in VR, but like I'm not moving, but my character is, and that's all I'm seeing.
Oh, you're
So
you're looking at your character in third person while moving yourself?
no, no, you're looking at him through first person.
Oh,
So,
okay.
but like, I like, especially like if I'm just standing still or sitting in a chair using a controller in VR, like, ugh, yeah, I'm vomiting.
Oh man.
That's
But
interesting.
actually, it like with enough practice, it does get easier. And they say putting a fan on you like helps you, but that's only for VR. I don't know what to do with a swing. Like,
I imagine a
you
lot of
already
a
have
lot of
wind
sick
blowing
people will
by you.
show up when Apple's augmented reality thing comes out.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
wonder
did you
if
guys
that
see
would make
that?
me sick. It would,
Isn't it AR?
yeah, yeah, augmented.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, sorry, you said that.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it won't. Maybe that'll be easier.
Yes, I would imagine your eyes would be decimated though. Like if you actually wore that all day.
That's what they
And your
say about
head.
staring at a screen all day.
I feel like that's a little different. That's like if you were staring at a screen and your eyeballs were like attached to
Yeah, it's true.
it.
Yeah, like what's gonna happen if you start training your eyeballs to focus at something so close?
You'll go blind. Uh,
Yeah.
well, there it is. Don't get augmented reality if you're old, and make sure you don't prep for your jumps like the boss Rick Ross. That's what we've learned today. As always,
Yeah.
thank you, gentlemen, and to you listeners, we'll be back next week. Until then, bye bye.
See ya.